Good evening and welcome to another round of the Akoria Gaming League F1 2021 Esports League. We are in Austria today, but previously we were in Azerbaijan, the Baku Street Circuit. It was quite a lot of fun to watch. It's a fast circuit. It's got a lot of really technical sections, a lot of really narrow sections, and it proved to be as fun as we had hoped. Quali ended with Humid fastest with a 1:38.651.4 and 4.8 tenths up from IMTJ and 5 tenths ahead of Venom. So Humid showing once again that he's got a lot of pace over a single lap and taking the quali session quite easily. Going into the race, Humid managed to take the win after some very good strategy calls, a whole bunch of safety cars, as you can see by the many pit stops that some people pulled out. Marcus sitting there with 6 different tire sets, G-Funk also with 6. There were many safety cars, there was lots going on. Those walls come out of nowhere, and they did take a toll on the racers. 5 racers having DNF'd due to various crashes and incidents. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to go over those some of those incidents, and so some of these race results are actually going to change before the end of the week. We have remodeled the steward system, and so we're going to be applying the new steward system to this previous race. Moving on from the race results, where Humid won, Dark Fox in second, Venom in third, and IMTJ in fourth. Marcus, the last of the finishers, in fifth place. Longest stints, IMTJ did the longest stint on a medium tire, 16 laps on the medium. You can see that, like, out of 26 laps, it's a decent stint. But again, with all the safety cars, going for the longest stints wasn't necessarily a good idea, as people around you were on fresher tires, and Baku is one of those circuits where, with it being as technical as it is, it does allow fresher tires to make a massive difference. Fastest laps, Humid got the fastest 2, Venom the second fastest 2, and then Dark Fox got the 5th fastest lap, full second off of Humid's fastest lap of the session. Pure race pace. Once again, this is the top 30% of people's race laps, best sectors put together into laps, and it's worked out from there. So you take basically their best performances and put them into an ultra lap as such. Humid getting the fastest pure race pace with a 1:42.640. Venom in second with a 0.339 behind, and the Dark Fox only 0.377 behind Humid's time, so very close there as well. Marcus in fourth, quite close as well. And finally, we have the consistency rating. KQ Marcus Static, the most consistent racer until his crash, with an average time difference of 0.621 between his laps. And that's obviously not bad. And I'm just getting reports of a desync of the the lobby as well. So we will rehost the lobby just quickly. But this is something that we were expecting. There have been a bunch of massive desync issues with the game after the most recent update. So this is one of those things. If it desyncs one more time, unfortunately, there's not going to be a race if that does happen again. So we will head back across to the race shortly. But yeah, we are not expecting to actually run the entire race this evening because of how bad the desyncs actually are. How's it, Hypex? Yeah, F1 2021, it's so bad that even PSGL actually cancelled this week's races entirely. Okay, so let me go and handle this horrible desync thing. Well, that's the thing. I think they don't update the game during the F1 esports like run, so that they don't have any of these issues. It's really fun that they just mess everyone else up once they're done with their stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna head over to the guys quickly just to get this rehosted, and we will then be right away into the quali session. I'm not going to put up the standings, as quite obviously the standings haven't been updated with the new steward system. So we will be right back. Thank you for joining us. Those of you guys that are watching, thank you so much. It's great to have you around, but unfortunately, as per usual, Codemasters/EA/ whichever one you want to blame these days are messing everyone around. And Hypex, you're going to have to explain what you mean by an F1 esports rim. I am intrigued. Alrighty, and we're back. Just waiting for the session to start up, and then I will take you guys. Well, I'll take you guys over to it right now. There we go. Alrighty, so the session is about to restart. As I said before, massive desync issues with the latest update. So bad that PSGL did cancel all their events. So we are not expecting good things tonight. But if there are more desyncs, we will probably continue the race, but on a casual capacity rather than 4 points. As we don't want a game glitch to mess up the championship. As with our load shedding issue earlier in the season, we want the championship to be as fair as possible. Oh, right. Is that what you meant by the rim? Yeah, no, I've got a Logitech G29, so it's quite difficult to get any sort of real rims or anything like that for it. But yes, this is Austria. So let's just make sure that it's yes, that's the right track. So yeah, this is Austria. Obviously, it's 10 corners. It's one of the simpler tracks around there. 10 corners, including the little left-hand kink that they call turn 2 for some reason. So yeah, not much place to actually lose time here. Obviously, with fewer corners, it means less chance of losing time through the lap. And so a lot of the speed comes from how much downforce you're comfortable shaving off. The guys did actually have a dry session just now, but with the with the fact that we have done a full rehost, we have actually changed it so that it's new dynamic weather, so it looks like it's actually quite cloudy now, which is it's great. If it rains, and we have an interesting race to watch. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and we still have an interesting race to watch. It's a win-win for us spectators, but for them, well, you know. I'll be honest, Hype, I haven't really been following the 2020 League that much, so I have no idea which track you guys are on. But yeah, if you guys are racing that Saturday as well, it's always a fun race to watch. And I'll admit, I'm not the greatest on this track. I have many issues around many of the corners. Yeah, so I'm curious to see how the guys go. It looks like Mello is already on a lap and already getting traffic in the form of one of the Aston Martins. I do believe that is Humid, getting nicely out of the way there. Ooh, and Mello does go around very, very close to Humid collecting him. That's probably a situation. Ooh, wow, that was very close as well. That's G-Funk coming around, and if he was on a lap, he's not anymore, having to take evasive action there. 103.9's not bad. I think my best time is normally in the 104, 105s on time trial, but I can't remember offhand. It's one of those tracks where, because there's so few places to try and make up time, I tend to battle. I'm not nearly aggressive enough to throw myself in there. Mello getting a 123.263 with that spin, so lost about 20 seconds. G-Funk currently following him around on the lap as he goes through turn 2 and into turn 3. This hairpin is horrible as far as traction is concerned. It does go very wide and has pulled out of his lap there already. DRS closed and everything. Jarvis putting in the fastest time on a medium set of tires, a 104.890 already. So getting down there, not quite at ideal conditions yet. We see Humid coming through. Moz trying to warm up his tires, and that was so close. Teammates getting in each other's way. Moz getting in Humid's way as he gears up for a lap. Humid is probably going to be raging for that 104.629 fastest lap, but there is a lot more in there with Moz getting in the way in the car park section of the track. And I haven't seen that in a virtual race. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Yeah, with obviously F1 2020, you've got much more rear downforce with the older regulations. Dark Fox going with a 104, 428, also on the medium tires. So F1 2020, you can get quite a few better lap times, around various tracks. And yeah, that yeah, it's crazy. Like, you can actually push down your downforce so much in the previous game, purely because the cars are as grippy as they are, and there's a lot. I feel like the aerodynamic modeling wasn't as good in F1 2020 as well. Ooh, Moz, massive snap of oversteer as he comes into the final corner. Let's see what he does as he crosses the line, goes up to 6th place. Definitely not good enough to merit that block that he pulled on Humid going into turn 9, but not bad in any way. 6th at the moment, but with Fish and Deadpool still trying to complete their laps. Let's follow Fish around. As he goes through turn number 3 and down towards turn number 4. Turn number 4 is a really interesting corner to try and take. Get yourself wide, nice and wide on the left there, and then throw yourself into the corner. You can take it in 2nd or 3rd, and that's not the way you take it. That's going to be a retirement. So Fish's first run with us, and already he's lost a tire. So let's follow Mello around as well. Mello obviously had that spin on his previous fast lap, so we'll follow him around. He did look like he was going quite quickly, so let's see what he can do. Massive snap of oversteer there. That's not how you're supposed to warm up your tires, but I guess there are worse ways to do it. Yeah, Fish is a new driver. He's joining us, I think, alone for now. He might bring a teammate eventually, but it's nice to have another person on the grid. I feel like it's always nice to have more than 10 people on the grid, so we have allowed him in. He's a little slower than some of the other guys, but he has been, obviously the rules are in place, so he shouldn't be getting in way of anyone else if he does feel like he's slow, but yeah, but it's good to see new players coming along. It's always nice to have more people on the grid, so we welcome Fish, and possibly a friend at some point as well. Melo starting his lap, going through turn 1, throwing it in, getting a bit of a snap of oversteer as he goes through the turn, through the kink of 2, I can't even call it a kink, it's not even that bad, into the hairpin of 3 now. This is where you can gain so much time there. It doesn't look like a bad line through there. Got on the traction nice and early, it did sound like he kept his gear quite nicely up, DRS wide open. We are riding on board with him. Doesn't take as much of the curb there as he could. Looks like the track is a little bit slippery around there. That's the same place that Fish lost it. Going into turns 6 and 7, let's see how much curb he takes. Just enough, and just not enough to invalidate Humid. 104, 172, and Mello is now invalidated as he went onto the curb of 8. Obviously in real F1 they just don't even bother with that curb, they just kill it. That looked like he may have been a little bit too far out of 9 and 10, and probably too far out of 10 as well, the exit of 10. You can see his next lap is invalidated as well, so he's trying to get around as quickly as possible to start another lap. We'll follow Marcus around. He's just started his lap, heading up towards a turn 1. Let's see what he can do. Okay, turn 1, nice and stable. I struggle a lot with turn 1 through that with that yellow sausage curb, but that was actually really nice and stable for Marcus. So let's see what he can do for the rest of this lap. Going through here, that looks like there's a Mercedes that is stopped. Hopefully not. Oh, that's off on the side. Not retired though, so that's fine. Marcus heading down towards turn 4 now, nice and wide on the entrance, takes a little bit of the curb on the apex, and nice and quick out of there as well. So it looks like Marcus is putting in a good lap. His current lap, a 105.527 in 7th position. But let's see what he can do. Fastest purple sector in sector 2, but of course the game doesn't know what that means. So it's probably just his best time so far. Throws himself into turn 9, not taking too much curb on the entrance or exit there. But comes around turn 10. Let's see what he goes. A second up, a full second found. Over 10 corners, that's pretty good. And Marcus goes up to 3rd place with a 104.523. That's really good to see. Dark Fox is currently gearing up for a lap. Everyone else looks like they might already be on them. So let's follow Dark around as he gets ready, going through turns 6, 7, and 8. takes a good amount of curb there, getting his tires into the window by just pushing on this outlap. Yeah, no, that second is a massive amount of time to find. Oh, Dark getting very wide there, but not invalidating his lap, riding on the white line, coming through turn 10 and starts his lap. So let's see how he does through turn 1, getting very wide on the entrance, taking a lot of the apex, almost invalidating, but just cutting it perfectly fine. Gets a good run up the first straight, and 45 thousandths up from his previous time. Gets through the hairpin nice and wide on the exit, that's perfect. No snap of oversteer, nothing like that. DRS wide open, heading down towards turn 4. Takes a decent amount of curb on the entrance, gets off it just in time, but has a little bit of a snap coming out of the corner. Through 6. Oh, and that is very wide. He will have lost a little bit of time there. Throws into turn 9, manages to keep it in the track through 10. Nice and safe line through 10. Oh, but he looks like he has pulled out. That is definitely not pushing across the line. So Dark Fox feeling like his lap time was not good enough, maybe looking to try and recharge a bit, and has invalidated this lap. Who is that behind him? That is Humid behind him. Is he getting a tow? Humid getting a tow from the Dark Fox, but that will compromise the hairpins. Let's see how they go through there. Nice and quick through there. Humid staying behind the Dark Fox to get as much of a tow as possible. The Dark Fox thinking that he is going to stay behind, and that is going to... Oh, that's not good. So Humid and the Dark Fox coming together. That may be a little bit of a desync issue, but that was quite odd. Like, the Dark Fox and Humid are generally in a voice channel together, so I don't know if that's maybe a desync issue rather than an actual incident. Obviously, with the desync being as bad as it is, it could be either. So Botti is one of the other guys who are very fast over a single lap, so we will follow him around on this lap, or we'll try to follow him around on this lap, as the game shows us the curbs rather than the driver. Down into turn 10, nice and wide on the exit. Oh, and what the heck just happened? Okay. I don't know what to say. I think that may have been another desync situation. It looked like Miller was towards the end of the first straight, and then Botti hit something, and then suddenly they were both out. I don't think Miller would have gone that far after that hit. That was very strange. I think the lobby is desynced like you wouldn't believe. This could be a fun casual race to watch, because you never know who's near who and who's going to just spin out. So I think we're going to change this to a casual race. This desync is wild. That is crazy. Yeah, I'm just confirming that this is going to be a casual race with the drivers, and then we will get back to what little commentary I can do with this madness. But it should be fun to watch. I mean, like, people could just spin out randomly in the middle of nowhere, and like suddenly two people are retiring at completely different ends of the track. So it could be quite a lot of fun. But yeah, Marcus not improving on his time, but looks like he is about to start another lap. Venom improving on his time up to 3rd place. Jarvis looked like he was behind, but has popped into the pits. G-Funk looks like he is trying to improve his 114.603. And doesn't improve his 114.6. Ooh, little tire just red. There's a soft tire on the pit straight, which is just sitting there. Yep, I'm still here. Sorry, I was just confirming with the guys that we are going to be going into a more casual race. So we will take the results from the quali session. We are actually then going to re-host at the end of the quali session before the race. So everyone's going to be on fresh tires. I will call everyone back into a voice channel just to brief them on what's going on, and then we should have a fun race to go. Like this is going to be interesting. It's certainly going to be one of the more chaotic races I've ever hosted. So should be fun. Okay, so 2 minutes left on the quali session. We have a couple of people still pushing around on the track. We've got Jarvis running around. Let's follow Jarvis around. Oh no, he's already uh, already invalidated his lap, so he's not a good choice. Dark Fox looks like he is on a lap, missing the apex there, so not a great run through there. Obviously, he does have a fairly good lap from earlier, but it doesn't look like he's comfortable. It looks like he's pushing right to the edge of grip with that car. And we'll see how he does through the final couple of corners. And way out of turn 9 and turn 10 as well. So Dark Fox not getting a better lap there. Humid currently going around again with his teammate ahead of him. So yeah, that should be this should be interesting, considering the last time these guys ran around behind each other, they ended up with a little bit of a moment coming into turn 10, or turn 9 rather. So hopefully Moz does push on. Moz is on an outlap, so should be gearing up, or should have geared up already at this point, ready to go onto the lap. So this shouldn't be any sort of issue. I'll be honest, I don't watch the 2020 league races. Being on a Saturday, I have a lot of other things going on Saturday or on the weekends in general. So yeah, it's quite difficult for me to actually do anything outside of the. Ooh, that was a very big snap of oversteer by Humid. So yeah, anything outside of the little bits that I do manage to catch is generally quite difficult to catch. Jarvis retired from the session coming out of turn number 7. May have just overcooked it a little bit, pushing a little hard, lost the car, and then decided to retire. Dark Fox has retired from the session to bring the session to a close a little bit quicker. Humid still going around as fast as he possibly can. Something I do need to do is I just need to close all the league logging things. Otherwise, we might actually get results added into the season randomly. So, yeah, Humid coming up to the final couple of corners. Goes around nice and clean, as per usual. But I do not think he's going to go faster than that one of... As I said that he goes faster, he goes into the 103. So Humid proving me wrong. And a great quali session, if a little messed up by incredible desync. So there we go. Guys have put in their laps 103.971 on his quali run, and that was with that massive snap that we saw. So Humid definitely still had time to come, but that will be the end of the session. I'm going to go and re-host quickly, so I will be back shortly. How's it, guys? So we are rehosting. We're going to be doing a casual race. Apparently, there was rain looking at the end of the race. We are not racing in Bahrain. That's what I forgot to change. Um, where are we? Austria. So I've basically tried to get the weather as close to what it would have been during the race anyway. So let's see how we go. We still have two people that we're waiting for. Not sure who they are. So okay, so the other thing that, by the way, everyone, the other thing that I've done is I have turned down damage. It's still simulation damage, but it is reduced. Yeah, you can still get damage, but at the same time. Okay, Marcus is not going to join us because it's a casual race. So cool. Let me just check. Yes, I'm working on the starting grid at the moment. Because the Red Bulls keep disappearing from the league. Okay, so yep. Venom. Okay, cool. That is the grid. No, we're not doing a reverse grid. Okay, right. So, okay, you guys can ready up. We will check you after. I was actually talking to the Discord channel, just so everyone knew what was going on, which is why I was explaining two things, or things twice. But everyone is ready to go. We have Marcus, who has dropped out due to it being a casual race, which is absolutely understandable. So let's see how it goes and how quickly we end up with desync. I'm betting turn 3. But I'm not even really that sure that we're going to even get that far. So it looks like everyone has managed to join. They'll all be sorting out their setups. I think they last until turn 3 before the first desync, not necessarily before the first accident. Okay, so we will give them another minute. Yeah, there are going to be dive bombs. With the reduced damage, it does mean there's likely to be a little bit more barging around. So should be fun. And right on time. I'm impressed. Someone was counting 30 seconds. Alrighty, the time is up, which means we will be starting to go live now. 5 lights are on. And away they go after quite a long wait. So let's see who manages to get away nicely. Dark Fox looks like he's got a little bit of a run on Mars, but has to pull out a little... Ooh, and one... Ooh, that was... G-Funk, the first person to be taken out. That was quite... that was before turn 1 even. So... G-Funk already out. Deadpool, what looked like he got taken out as well. That's a virtual safety car already. It looks like Moz is trying to... Moz just spun Humid out, and that looked quite intentional. So I'm not sure if that was desync or just Moz deciding that he felt like his teammate needed to start from the back, but we already have some tactical spinning going on apparently. So we have lost G-Funk already, unfortunately for him. Virtual safety car is out at the moment, so everyone is going to be having to try and keep their delta in the positive, but it shouldn't last too long with it. Ooh, that is interesting. Humid and Fish look like they are fighting a little bit. Maybe Fish is not managing to keep up with the Delta quite yet. So Humid looking at trying to get past him, but obviously can't under the virtual safety car. And we have... who is that? That is Mello, who spun out. Did reset to track, but with this being a casual race, that's not going to be too much of a problem. But it does mean that I will have to remind everyone once again about the reset to track. Oh, that looked like someone else out. Is that Fish? That's Fish spinning out, losing his front wing end plate on the left-hand side. So obviously the reduced damage, saving him a little bit. Mars going wide now, and the Dark Fox going through as the virtual safety car ends, and Venom looking to make a pass as well as they come towards a turn 4. So there's lots of action already. I haven't actually been able to stop commentating on what's actually going on track for a change, and this is only lap number 2, so I'm sure we're in for a very interesting race as we go forward. Venom looking at the inside of Moz for a moment there, maybe just showing his intentions, and we have Mello out again in the gravel trap, letting Deadpool through. And Fish behind. Fish struggling to find the breaking points and taking a trip through the sandpit. Dark Fox goes to the top of the timing sheets with a 107. Fish getting a 10-second time penalty for going off there. That just seems a little harsh. Looked like through Mello there, and Mello has cooked his tires, I think, and those hard tires are going to be very difficult to uncook. Mello has retired from the session, so I think that's 2 retirements already. Sector 3 is... oh, Fish has now retired from the... 10 seconds for track limits. I think because he went so far out, they thought he must be trying to cheat somehow. So maybe they just decided to give him 10 seconds because he was so far off. Yellow flag in Sector 3. Fish has retired. Mello has retired. Fish looks like he went into a wall quite hard. Dark Fox getting a faster Sector 2, 1.6 tenths down from his previous lap time. Was in second place, a second back. We have another spinner that looks like Deadpool. Has spun around turn 4, but gets going fairly quickly. Humid in 7th position. So let's see what has Humid had to pit. Humid getting 3 seconds for track limits already, so that's quite odd. But he is on the hard tires, so I wonder if that's maybe why he's struggling so much. The hard tires just not coming into play. But in the background, we have Venom, Potty, and Moz, all 3 fighting for turn 2 or 3. And looks like Potty is going to get the run through there. Venom gets pushed off by Mars, but manages to keep pace. DRS open. Venom and Mars both with DRS as Potty leads the way down this straight. Mars looking at the inside. Nice clean racing there, despite the fact that they don't have to be as clean as usual with this being a casual race. Nice clean racing there, but Mars does fall back and right back into the clutches of Venom, who's only 2 tenths behind. Potty 2 seconds back from the Dark Fox. So the Dark Fox taking control of this race, trying to put some space between him and the rest of the pack. And Humid bringing up the rear, 21 seconds back. Sorry, the Deadpool is actually behind him with 32 seconds back from Humid. Looks like he has just come out of the pits, so that might be why that happened. It's interesting, we don't see any cars just randomly. There was a massive snap of oversteer by Moz there, so Venom is likely to get him, if not up this DRS straight, then down the next one. But Venom pulling to the side now. I think Moz will get the DRS going down the next straight though, so this is not the greatest of moves by Venom. It will very quickly turn into, oh, that looked like Deadpool getting out the way there. Venom now into third place with Moz behind him, both of them with DRS, so not such a bad move from Venom as I thought. They were within a second of Potty behind when they started that straight, or when they ended the previous straight, but now they are 1.3 seconds back from Potty. Potty will be, oh, that is Venom spinning. That did not look like contact, so I think he was just pushing a little hard, taking advantage of the ghosting and going across his teammate Jarvis. Very lucky for Jarvis there, the ghosting was on. We'll check it just now, Hypex. So Jarvis now chasing down Moz, who's chasing down Potty, who's trying to chase down the Dark Fox. The Dark Fox busy making his presence felt out at the front of the track. Dark Fox feeling like this track wasn't necessarily one of his strongest, but definitely showing otherwise. Out there on the medium tires in first positions, 2 seconds up from Potty. Potty is 1.5 seconds up from Moz, looking to cut down that time to the Dark Fox. Doesn't look like he's doing too bad a job of keeping in touch with Fox, but isn't really managing to catch up that much either. The slipstreams on this game aren't as good as they should otherwise be. Apparently in real life F1 you can get a slipstream up to 5 seconds behind the car ahead, and the dirty air applies about the same. In this game, apparently the dirty air and the slipstreaming is closer to a second, 0.7 seconds on certain tracks. So the slipstreaming and dirty air, not really much of a thing in F1 2021. Hopefully with the new regulations and the new developers, or owners of the franchise in EA, and maybe a couple of new developers, they managed to add some proper dirty air simulation and slipstreaming, because the slipstreaming can be so powerful, as we've seen in both of the ARL F1 races so far. So as we return back to our Austrian track, 1.7 seconds between Moz and Potty. Potty falling back about a tenth since the last time we checked the times. Jarvis 4.2 seconds back from Moz. I'm not sure if he's really catching, but he is on the hard tire, so maybe trying to go a little bit longer into the race than Moz. Maybe trying not to pit. Ooh, that is a McLaren. That's the McLaren of Deadpool getting out of the way of Venom. Yes, Venom. So the guys spacing out a little bit, Deadpool being lapped already by Venom, so that is already everyone down to there. So Deadpool almost a full lap behind the entire field, with only Humid yet to lap him. Humid looks like he might be running with some sort of floor damage. That was an uncharacteristic snap of oversteer coming out of turn 4, and he does look like he's running a lot slower than what we're used to seeing him run, so he may have some floor damage, which might be why he's staying off the curbs as much as he is. Those hard tires, I don't feel like they are the entire story. Losing time through, oh yeah, no, he's definitely got floor damage. That was not great going through there. So Humid struggling along, probably just trying to finish the race. Should have actually turned ghosting off for this race, but there you have it. So Mars currently the closest person to anyone else, 1.5 seconds behind Potty, making up a little bit of time through this middle sector, but then almost immediately losing it. So Potty feeling a little bit more comfortable on those medium tires. 7 laps old for everyone except for Deadpool, who's 2 laps old hards. 2 lap old mediums rather. So no one has pit yet. But I'm sure we will see the weather start changing, which will possibly play into the medium runners' strategies a little bit more. Just with the temperature going down, it means they will wear their tires a little bit less, which means they'll be able to push them a little bit more, and they will be able to get even more of a pace advantage over the hard tire runners in Jarvis and Humid. Jarvis actually doing fairly well still. 5.6 seconds back, so he is losing a little bit of time, but not getting completely out of touch, not out of the pit window just yet of Moz and those in front. Putty 2.9 seconds behind Dark Fox now. Moz 1.5 seconds. Moz is definitely pushing to try and catch Putty. He is trying to break down that 1.5 second gap and get to as close as he possibly can. Hey Alf, how are you doing? So Moz now 1.7 seconds back. Putty has pulled out something from somewhere. Either that or Moz has experienced some sort of issue as he goes through the first sector, dropping 3/10 already. So Moz struggling with something. I'm not sure if maybe he's overheated his tires, pushed them a little bit too hard with the setup that he's got on, but losing time to the car ahead. Jarvis 6.6 seconds back. I don't believe that is better than what he was running, but we'll keep an eye on that time because it does look like it is trending towards a lower gap, although he's now started losing it from 6.6 up to 6.8, although his teammate Venom on the medium tires is starting to catch up to Jarvis, maybe getting comfortable with the tires now, or otherwise Jarvis maybe made some sort of small mistake somewhere, and that is allowing Venom to start catching up. 2.7 seconds at the moment. Oh, sector 3, that looks like Deadpool. Deadpool off in the gravel. So Deadpool off in the gravel, Humid now lapping him as well. Humid running around with the floor damage that we believe that he has, running almost half a lap off the pace as Dark Fox goes through turn 4. Humid just crosses the start finish line. So Humid struggling with some sort of damage, and those hard tires are not helping. Dark Fox out in front, 3.4 seconds already. So Dark Fox definitely making his presence felt, going way wide on the turn 8 there, but not getting a penalty, so I don't think he's got too many warnings. How's it, George? Welcome to the chat. Alf, essentially what happened was we've had massive desyncs all evening, so this is actually running as a more casual race. Jarvis spinning out. Humid is going to catch Jarvis, it looks like, if things continue as they are, although Humid's time penalties are going to make sure that he can't really do anything. But Humid looks like he might... Oh, that was Venom that spun, not Jarvis. Apologies for that. Venom now going into the pit, so Humid will not be running last anymore. George, you will need to actually join the Discord. I will... If you go to the Courier website, you will see, I think the Discord links are on there. Otherwise, if you just... I'll make a note of you and maybe DM you later. I think I've never really interacted too much with Twitch other than the streaming, so if I can DM you, I will DM you. As well as I did see someone else ask about the Discord as well. I will, Sanzi I think was the other person. I have seen your message. I will get hold of you after the race. Yeah, I'm multi-streaming using Restream. It's it's quite nice actually. It does mean that I don't have to deal with the lag issues that I tried. I tried to do it straight to Twitch, and it was just ridiculous. I dropped 60% of my frames, and that's just not worth it. So yeah, streaming through Restream. George, no, we do all of our admin and everything through the Discord server, so it's not just through the game. So Humid currently running in 5th position after his damage and spin. Dark Fox 3 seconds up from Putty. Putty making a little bit of time there, but not enough to trouble Dark Fox. Moz 3.5 seconds back. Jarvis 7 someone looked like they went wide there. Jarvis 7.8 seconds back from Moz. Humid 15.6 seconds back from Jarvis. Humid's race has not gone well so far, but if the rain does start coming in towards the end of the race, he might feel a little bit more comfortable, or on the other hand, it might end up with him in the wall. Venom, after that spin and subsequent pit stop, currently on the medium tires, and fresh medium tires, and running in 6th position. Deadpool running onto the soft tires and going into the pits to pick up those soft tires. And that is Humid coming to lap Deadpool again, I do believe. A little bit of desync there, a little bit of a jolt there, a couple of jolts there as Humid comes past Deadpool. So you can see how bad the desync actually is. It is crazy. Yeah, I suspect Restream has some sort of South African relay, because yeah, since I switched across to Restream, I haven't had a single drop frame. So yeah, it's been nice. And of course, there's the benefit of being able to stream to multiple different platforms, multiple different accounts, which is why you're seeing this on my account. The Corey account is also going on both YouTube and Twitch. So yeah, you can go check those out as well if you'd like to. They obviously have the F1 races. They've got they've got a dirt rally league as well, which ran for a while. So it's a general org that's doing quite a few good things for gaming. Humid gets the fastest lap of the race on hard tires. So either Humid was trying to push the car beyond what the hard tires were able to do at the time, or otherwise he has managed to figure out his damage and is now starting to actually push, although that snap of oversteer coming out of the hairpin says otherwise. I'm not sure what's going on with Humid's car, and it's uncharacteristic that he has 12 seconds of penalties. So 12 seconds of penalties so far for Humid. And yet he has the fastest lap. So Humid finding some sort of pace from somewhere as he pushes those hard tires to their absolute limit, and going around this track, obviously pushing the track limits to the absolute limit as well, and going over the limit a couple of times. You can see the line he takes through these corners. It is ultra aggressive, and if you just don't have the grip, you can so quickly and easily find yourself getting too many warnings. Porty now 2.7 seconds behind the Dark Fox, so the Dark Fox's pace does look like it's falling off a little bit, and Porty is managing to make up some time. Venom now goes to the fastest lap of the race, 1:06.546, so still some time to come from the guys, but it does look like the weather is getting a little bit darker. It does look like the clouds are coming in. Yeah, you can see them there. The clouds are definitely coming in. This is going into the overcast section of the race. We do have wet weather coming towards the end of the race, so that should be fun to watch, especially as people try and push these tires as far as they possibly can to avoid the two-stop if possible. Humid down to 10 seconds behind Jarvis. So just now when we were looking, he was almost 20 seconds back, I think it was. So he's made up about 10 seconds in relatively few laps. So Humid finding some pace, Jarvis falling off a little bit. Moz 5.5 seconds back from Porty. Looks like he's keeping a little bit on pace. Dark Fox 2.9 seconds up, so keeping that gap now once again after losing a couple of tenths to the McLaren behind. Cool, thanks for the visit over on the YouTube Elf. Yeah, well, I haven't gotten to affiliate yet, so I don't have to worry about that just yet. But well, I'll definitely. It's a bridge to cross at some point. So Jarvis and Venom switching positions. It looks. I'm not sure what happened there actually. Jarvis looks like he's completely fallen off pace-wise, and Venom Oh, Venom then spins right after his teammate lets him through. That is an unfortunate moment. And that will allow Humid to catch up to Venom. So Humid gets through on Venom. Is Venom beached? Venom was beached for a moment. I didn't realize that was possible in this game. So Venom was actually beached for a moment, has reset to track to try and get himself out of there. It looks like his tires are completely cooked though. So Venom will be trying to get back on track as Dark Fox comes through to lap him, and Deadpool, that was Potty actually, 2.7 seconds back from the Dark Fox. So Potty has made up a 10th once again. Moz 5.3 seconds back. So Moz picking up the pace a little bit as well as they go past Venom. Jarvis now going through turn 4 at the moment. Venom going into the pits. Let's see if he can make it through here without spinning with those cooked tires. Yes, he makes it fine. Humid now up into 5th position, but with 12 seconds of penalties, he is going to have to keep going as hard as he possibly can on the soft tires. So Humid has pit at some point. I must have missed that. Either that or just desynced and I didn't see it. Oh, that sounds like Deadpool is off once again. Goes into the wall backwards. Might have a little bit of rear wing damage. Oh, but those tires look like they're cooked as well. Those soft tires not sticking to the track. Dark Fox coming around corner number 7. Humid setting a fastest lap of the race with a 1:05.611. It is possible that the rain is going to be coming sooner rather than later. People may have seen the overcast weather. Chatted to Jeff. Jeff tells them that the rain is going to come within the next 15 minutes or so. 15 minutes is a decent stint on the soft tire, so people may have thought, okay, let's get as much pace out of this as possible, especially those running on the hard tires previously may have decided that those hard tires just weren't working for them. And are now out on the soft, trying to make as much hay as the sun still shines, as the saying goes. So Dark Fox out in front, 2.9 seconds ahead of Potty, keeping that gap once again. It looks like Potty did have a little bit of a problem coming through turn 3, because he has lost quite a bit of time and isn't necessarily sticking to the usual racing line. So Potty not sticking to the usual racing line, looks like he might be struggling a little bit. Oh, and that is a Mercedes of Venom who has spun coming out of turn 1. He is going to have to take it quite easy to let his tires cool down, but Venom going from bad to worse, currently in 6th position and spinning once again. Jarvis getting past Deadpool, I do believe that was once again. So Deadpool being lapped again. I'm not entirely sure how many laps down he actually is at this point. It says one. Oh, Potty has gotten past the Dark Fox. That's because the Dark Fox has gone into the pits. So Dark Fox getting rid of those medium tires, feeling like there is time to be found in this strategy, possibly seeing Humid's ridiculous pace and maybe wanting to get a fastest lap point, or well, in theory. Obviously there are no points for this race as it is a casual race, but Dark Fox deciding to come in for those soft tires a little bit later than the other guys that are running on the soft tires at the moment, and so probably looking to try and set as fast a lap as possible. But if Potty and Moz can push it until the rain starts, if the rain actually does manage to start, they will have one fewer stop than anyone else will have had to go. 20 lap old mediums, it is going to be difficult for them to keep that going. They are going to have to preserve those tires a little bit. It looks like Potty has decided it's not worth it. He is going into the pits now. Moz looks like he is going to stay out though. Moz is thinking that he can make those extend that tire stint as long as he needs to. As Potty comes into the pits, the Dark Fox is now getting a we just saw him get a 3-second penalty for track limits at turn number 10 as he goes past Potty. Potty's still in the pits. Jarvis 30 seconds back. I don't think he's going to trouble Potty as he comes out. So the front 3 are the 3 really running the race at the moment, although they do have to push quite hard with Moz and Dark Fox both with penalties. I think they're both 3-second penalties. Potty now getting a 3-second penalty as well. So Moz, Dark Fox, and Potty, the three within the top 15 seconds or so. Jarvis a little bit further back, 30 seconds back from Potty. Humid almost 30 seconds back from Jarvis. Venom 45 seconds back from Humid. Deadpool 2 laps down now officially. So Moz going around the ninth corner, but deciding to stay out once again. Moz 21 laps, 22 laps now on these medium tires. So yeah, it is overcast. I don't think it's wet yet. I haven't seen... Oh, there is Moz going around on those medium tires, and that would be why everyone else got rid of their mediums as soon as possible, resetting to the track. Again, I'm not going to be too harsh on people for resetting to track in this race, as it is a wet race. So what would be happening at the moment with Moz is that his tire... Oh, Venom has retired from the session. Looks like he was going... Oh, that is a safety car. So Moz may have called this correctly. Will probably pop into the pits now. And let's see what he can do. So essentially, if Moz stays out and then does manage to make up time, so if he was 5 seconds ahead and then he goes into the pits and he comes... Or if he was 5 seconds behind before the pit stops, and then he waits a couple of laps longer and manages to push on those tires that are up to temperature and all the rest of it hard enough that when he then pits, he ends up fewer seconds behind, so 3 seconds behind as opposed to 5, for example, than he was before. Then what will happen? That's called an overcut. The undercut is going into pit early, and then because you're on fresher tires, you can push harder on those tires and you get better lap times from that. Then that's called an undercut. So essentially, undercut, you pit early, put together a good outlap, and then get your tires up to temperature as quickly as possible. That's the undercut. So basically, where good undercuts and where good overcuts happen, that's generally based on the track. Tracks that have lower tire, where you might find that the overcut is a little bit better. It also gives you more options for the strategy itself, because obviously if you do manage to push your tires a little bit longer into the race, you can go onto a softer compound later on, whereas if you you were correct with your understanding. If you do pit a little bit early, obviously you have to make those tires last a lot longer, and then what happens is you do end up with situations where with the tires having to last longer, towards the end of the race you end up losing some performance to the guys around you, and then even if you have overcut them before or undercut them before, you end up in a situation where the undercut time gets worn away because the other guys are on the fresher tires. Speaking of fresh tires, Dark Fox 2 laps old, Porty 1 lap old, Moz, Jarvis and Humid all on absolutely fresh softs. So once they've caught up to the safety car, Humid will be very much happy with this, in fact, because Humid, obviously with his race being as bad as it was, he was very much at risk of being lapped by some of the faster runner. But with the safety car, it means that he can pull up to the back of the queue, and he will then be in contention again as long as the damage is not as bad as we suspected earlier. Ooh, that looked like a little piece of wing coming off of Moz, I do believe. It looked like he went into the back of Potty. So Moz looked like he lost a little bit of something. Looks like his wing is still intact though, so not sure what that piece of something was that was flying around. Safety car in this lap, the field has caught up to the back of the field has caught up to the rest of it. So let's see how people go. Deadpool dropping back out of the way of the front runners. Humid possibly being told to stay behind Deadpool, which is a little odd. Humid very far back from the rest of the guys, so not sure what's happening with Humid, but Dark Fox looks like he has gone already. Looked like he possibly went just before turn number 9, got a good entrance and a good run through the first couple of corners, or first corner. Jarvis went very wide there and has allowed Moz through into third position. Potty in second, it has stayed within half a second of the Dark Fox and gets right up close going into turn number 3, which is not necessarily what you want to do. It does compromise your exit quite badly. So Potty losing a stack of time going through the hairpin, but the Dark Fox hasn't pulled away as much as he possibly would have liked on that safety car restart. So 7 tenths back to Potty, 8 tenths back to Moz, and 5 tenths back from Moz to Jarvis. Humid running 2.5 seconds back at the moment. So Humid not getting a good safety car restart is possibly due to a desync glitch with Deadpool, or possibly just running that heavy damage as well. Deadpool now spinning out going through turn number 6. Once again on those medium tires, definitely struggling with this track, but still in the race. So definitely still looking at some sort of finish. Humid 3-second penalty. Looks like it was going through turn number 10, but does get the fastest lap as a result of 1:04.792. I'm sure that will be beaten at some point. Sector 3, that's Deadpool going into the pits once again, bringing out a yellow flag. But Dark Fox still out in front, 27 laps into this 36 lap race, 9 laps to go, and Dark Fox still leading, 8 tenths up, 9 tenths up from Potty, trying to get out of the DRS range. Will probably, going at this pace, I feel like he will manage to get out of the DRS before the DRS is re-enabled, although Potty will be doing everything in his power to make sure that that does not happen, taking very aggressive lines. You can see him going through there, but Jarvis in the meantime has pulled up right up to the back of Moz, and Jarvis will be the other person looking for DRS, and looks like he has a very good chance of getting it as well as they come through the final corner. Jarvis, there it is, DRS enabled, and Jarvis 4 tenths back. Potty in the meantime almost a second back, will have to nail this exit. Massive snap of oversteer there, but will he get DRS that early? Did he get it off that first DRS detection zone? Yes, the DRS detection zone is after the start finish line, so that first one does work. So Potty now with a little bit more to be able to fight Dark Fox out in front. Moz taking Jarvis out quite blatantly there. Obviously with this being a casual race, reduced damage, we're not frowning too much on that. It does make it a little bit more interesting, but Jarvis may be ready to deliver some of his own barging to Moz in a moment. So Jarvis 6 tenths back at the moment, Moz 2.5 seconds behind Potty, Potty 7 tenths back from the Dark Fox, and looking to get DRS down the pit straight and the 2 DRS zones after that as well. Throwing himself into turn 9, right on the edge of the track limits, into turn 10, keeping up with the Dark Fox and getting the DRS open, and 7, 6, 5, that's about 2 and a bit tenths down the pit straight alone. In the meantime, Jarvis is looking once again at a pass on Moz, so we're going to keep an eye on Jarvis and Moz. Venom spun out a few times and I think just got over spinning out. Jarvis gets past Moz, and let's see, Moz spins him out this time. Jarvis resets the track right away and ready to fight once again. Potty in the meantime 3 tenths back from the Dark Fox, very close this time, but not quite close enough to get that pass. Deadpool may have given the Dark Fox DRS on that back straight down towards turn 4, but let's see what he can do. Looks like Dark Fox might actually be intentionally staying behind Deadpool to try and get a little bit of DRS to defend with, but a little bit too slow at the moment, and so deciding to go through. That is a massive understeer from Potty. but Dark Fox gets a penalty, so that should actually make a difference. Now, penalty 6 seconds for the Dark Fox. Porty no longer needs to pass Fox. Oh, and Fox spins around and goes nose first into the wall there. That was really unfortunate for him. Right into the wall. Looks like he has lost a lot of his front wing. Not all of it. So must have hit that wall very strangely to not have lost any of his practically any of his front wing. So Dark Fox dropping down to 4th position, Porty taking 1st. And it looked like for a moment that there may have been rain on my screen, but I'm not sure. Oh, there are definitely raindrops. So the rain looks like it is deciding to start 6 laps from the end. Moz spins out on the soft tires, and Jarvis finally takes the position after biding his time and taking the opportunity when it came his way. Porty in 1st place, Jarvis in 2nd. Jarvis running without any... Moz has spun once again. Jarvis running without any penalties. So Jarvis may actually, if he pushes hard enough and pits at the right time with the rain, that looked like a little speck of rain on the screen. Jarvis looks like he might actually be able to take the... Ooh, that looked interesting. Oh, everyone is dropping into the pits. You can see the raindrops on the screen now. I was right about that. Porty and Jarvis out on the track with the track getting wet. And that may have been why Moz was spinning as much as he was. Moz's spin indeed. So Porty out in 1st place, Jarvis in 2nd, Moz in 3rd, coming out of the pits on, I imagine, the intermediate tires. Oop, that's not the right one. That's the right one. Intermediate tires for Moz. Dark Fox coming out on the mediums, so I don't know if Jeff maybe screwed him over there, but Dark Fox deciding that the dry tires are still the right tires to be on. Humid is already on the intermediate tires, so Humid must have pit previously, going for an early pit stop to try and get onto those intermediate tires as soon as possible. Either that or the game has desynced and showed him on the pit straight rather than in the pits. But yeah, the rain looks like it is starting to come down. Porty has gone into the pits. Jarvis has stayed out. Jarvis being brave on those 7-lap-old soft tires out on the wet track. We will follow him around as he pushes his way through turn number 1. That was incredibly stable for a wet, wet track. So Jarvis making it work on the in the wet. Virtual safety car out, and that is Deadpool. Deadpool losing his wing, and so that has brought out the virtual safety car. Jarvis having to slow down to an absolute crawl through the through the hairpin due to that virtual safety car. Dark Fox has gone into the pits once again, definitely unhappy with that with that strategy choice. So that was definitely Jeff's strategy. And we have Jarvis out in front on the soft tires. His soft tires will be cooling down so badly right now because of the wet and because of the reduced pace from the virtual safety car. He is going to be cursing inwardly, and more than likely he is going to end up not being able to get into the pits with the virtual safety car still out. That is Sod's law. So let's see whether Jarvis decides to head into the pits. Jarvis staying out still. Oh, Dark Fox has retired from the session, going through turn 1. So it looks like he came out of the pits, spun out and went out and managed to get some damage. Has decided he's done with the wet and has now retired from the session. So 5 left to go. Deadpool up into 5th position as Jarvis stays out on the soft tires. Soft tires in the wet. Will now be trying to get his soft tires up to temperature as he heads up towards turn 3. Let's see how he does through here. Very slow into the corner. Very slow out of the corner, but no snap of oversteer. So Jarvis showing us how it's done in the wet. Porty 11 seconds back, 3 laps to go for Porty to make up 11 seconds, almost 12 seconds of time. So Jarvis looks like he may have got this right, but then he goes very wide there. There is just no traction on those soft tires, and he goes very wide into turn number 4. That will have lost him a whole bunch of time. 2 seconds down already to Porty, almost 3 seconds as Jarvis has to gingerly navigate through turns 5 and 6. He is not hitting any of the apexes. He is not managing to hit any of the braking points. He is definitely struggling. And this is why you don't mess around with tires in this game. Once the DRS is disabled, it's pretty much a situation of you have to go in, because there is just no traction. But Jarvis, oh nope, I was about to say it, Jarvis showing that it is still possible. Nice 360-degree spin, but that has let Potty through. Jarvis now on the pit straight, 2 laps to go. I do not think he's going to do, although 27 seconds to Moz, that is possibly a big enough gap. If he can keep it on the track, if he can keep it pointed in the right direction, Jarvis could definitely still get this done. Moz still with 6 seconds of penalties and 18 seconds to make up on track, as Jarvis gingerly goes through turn 3, takes to the runoff to give himself a little bit of extra space, and just drives on a Sunday drive at the moment. 16 seconds already down. There was 27 seconds just now. Moz is catching at a massive rate. But let's see, Jarvis is still struggling. This is like it's one of those situations where like you almost want him to pit, but at the same time, if he pits now, he's lost that position anyway. But if he pits, he might be able to put in a good last lap, and yeah, this is a difficult situation. If you do miss that pit stop point. Yes, I'm pretty sure Humid had damage, and so he had 0 traction through a lot of the race. Jarvis coming in for the pit stop. Moz will definitely get through here, but does have a 6-second penalty, so maybe Jarvis can do something with that, but Jarvis looking very ginger here. Is he going to get a front wing as well? Can't tell, because the Mercedes engineers are in the way. There is a front wing as well, so that is going to put him quite far back. Humid now coming through with 15 seconds of penalties. Jarvis will definitely still finish ahead of him at the end of the race, but there we have it. Humid coming through into 3rd position, 15 seconds the difference that he needs to make between him and Jarvis. So Humid having to push on these intermediate tires with the damage that we suspect that he has. 8 seconds currently back to Jarvis. He needs to make 7 seconds back to Jarvis for him to have any sort of chance of taking that podium, with this race being as terrible as it was for him. Potty out in front, 22 seconds out in front, and at the lowest penalty of anyone other than Jarvis. Potty running a decent race in the wet. Moz 22 seconds ahead of his teammate Humid. Humid currently on board with him, or watching him go, 12 seconds back from Moz. Jarvis 9 seconds back from Humid, with this being the final lap. Potty has gone on to the last lap. Moz going on to the last lap now. Humid coming through to look at the last lap. Deadpool having spun. Deadpool spinning, coming out of turn 4. Looks like he's lost a wing again and is now sliding all over the place as he tries to finish the race at the very least. Jarvis 10.5 seconds back from Humid, so Jarvis having to push even harder. Deadpool might be hoping that his teammate comes and passes him at this point, just to give him a single lap less pain without that wing, and it looks like Potty is going to actually do that. A very slow marshal there, putting out the blue flag way too late. Potty now going into turn 9, through into turn 10, and down the pit straight to finish the race. And there he goes. Potty across the line, Deadpool crossing the line without a wing. Moz coming down 22.5 seconds back as he throws himself into turn 9. Let's see if he can make it through these last couple of corners. Does so without too much to note. It takes so long for them to get around that corner. Trying to take advantage of the desync, but not quite managing. Humid, another 3-second penalty. 18 seconds of penalties now. And again, trying to take advantage of just mashing himself into the wall. Not quite managing. Jarvis will finish on the podium after his his very interesting choice of staying out on the soft tires. And that is the end of our casual race. Thank you so much to all of you that that did join It's been fun. It's been just a little bit of a mess, and there's nothing we could do. That desync happened so early. There were so many issues. I'm glad that we didn't try and run the actual race, because that just would have been a complete and utter wreck. So thank you so much for joining us, Hypex, and Alf especially. You guys have kept me company quite nicely, and yeah, hopefully we'll check you for the next one. Hypex, what are you thinking of playing? All right, I'll see at some point. Like as I said earlier on, I have a lot going on at the moment. But at some point I'll give you a shout. Just add me on Steam. I think you should be able to find me on the Aquaria Discord, and yeah, we'll check you out. That seems like a weird reason not to play games. Cool. Thanks for joining me, Alf. We'll check you on Sunday, hopefully. And yeah, Hypex, you're welcome to add me on Discord. We'll check you at a game sometime. Thank you, everyone else, for joining me, and we will see you for the next race, whether that is the Retro Kill race on Sunday that I race in, or otherwise a Courier race next week. Hopefully by then EA have decided to release a fix, and we do not have to manage the desync anymore. But yeah, we will see how we go. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy the rest of the evening.